Good morning dear students, once again we are here with our online classes. So today's topic for class A and the chapter is 21 data handling, that is called statistics. Okay, so first of all I would like to tell you what is statistics. So the word statistics is used in two different ways or senses, we can say. The first one is we say singular and second one is called plural. So singular and plural, in the singular sense, it implies that the whole subject as a branch of knowledge to be in collecting, analyzing, presenting and interpreting some numerical informations, or we can say data. And in plural sense, the second one, we say it implies the collection of numerical data in a systematic manner with some definite object in view. Example, population, taxes we take or we give, number of failures in your school or number of candidates who are passed in your school, something like that. Okay. So statistics is all about collecting and writing the data in a proper way. And I told you statistics is divided into two parts, singular and plural. So that was just a basic knowledge or concept. The main concept of ours in this chapter is all about data. So what is data? First of all, we will write the definition. A set of numerical facts collected with a definite object in view is called data. This is just a definition. Let us take for example. Example is, let us consider the heights of 9 children in our class. If we take the heights of children in our class in centimeter, this all the data is in centimeter. If first one, the boy is Naresh, whose height is 153 centimeter. Now Ashok is there, whose height is 150 centimeter. Ritu is there, whose height is 154 centimeter. Manisha, Peter and Monu. In such a way, we have written the heights of all the students, all the 9 students in our class. So we find that the number 153, 147, 150, 152, 154, 153. What is that? This is called the data. Now we have collected a data. Which kind of data? The data is of the heights of the students in centimeter in our class. So this way we get some information, or data can be of any time. This is all about heights. You can write the data about like number of students are 9 and they have got marks in mathematics, different marks they get. So if you write the mathematics marks, English marks, Hindi marks, subject wise marks of the students in a proper way, that also is called the data. Like we do create the consolidated sheet of the students, name wise, roll number wise and all the subject wise. Okay, so that also is called the data. So now in this chapter we will discuss about the statistics, data handling, how to write, what is frequency. Now one more term I have written is frequency. Like if you write any data, heights, marks of any subject or anything, first of all we will study about the definition. Frequency is a number which tells how many times does a particular data or number is appearing in the given set of data. Like if we have any given set of data, like consider the set of data 5, 7, 3, 8, 7, 5, 5, 3, 5, 8, 7. Some numbers I have written here. It may be the marks obtained by the students in class test. It may be the money having with all the students in the class. Total number of students are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It may be. But if I talk about frequency, like you clearly can see 5, 5, 5 and 5. 5 has come 4 times in this given data. So the frequency of 5 is 4. If we talk about what is the frequency of 7. What is the frequency of 7? Let us see. 1, 2, 3. Frequency of 7 is 3. That's why I called frequency is a number which tells how many times does a particular data appears in the given set of data. Okay, now some more terms after data handling, that is statistics and frequency, we have are raw data, arrayed data and frequency distribution. Now listen carefully. What is raw data? The data collected in the original form. Data collected in the original form is called actually the raw data. Like if we take the example of 30 students of a class scoring the marks out of 10 in the class. If we take an example like 9, 8, 6, 7, 4, 3, 0, 2, 10, 9, 8, 10, 9, 6, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 1, something like that. Total students are, let us take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Let us take 20 students. Okay. If I write the marks of the students in maths test of a class where total 20 students are there and they have got 9 marks, 8 marks, 6 marks, 7 marks, something like that. And if directly we write all the data in such a way, then this is called what? This is called raw data. So data in its original form, whatever we got, we have written, that is called raw data. Now, the second term is array. What is array? If any data you have and that data you write in proper ascending or in descending form. So, data in ascending or in descending order is called array. Okay. So, if the same given data we write in proper ascending or in descending order, that data will be called array or arrayed data. So, if the given information we write in simply ascending order or in descending order, let us see. The smallest form is, if I write this raw data in proper ascending form, like smallest numbers are 0, then 2, 2, see, 2 are 2 times, now we write 3, 3 is how many times? 1, 2, 3. Now 4 is there, 4 I write 1, 2, 3 times, then afterwards 5, if it is there, then only, yes, 5 is there, afterwards 6 is 2 times, now 7, 1 time only 7 is there, 8, 1, 2 times 8 is there, 9, 1, 2, 3 times 9 is there, then afterwards 10 will be 1, 2 times. So now this is in the proper ascending or in descending order, so it will be called arrayed. Okay. Now after arrayed, I have written here frequency distribution. Now see, how do we make frequency distribution or frequency distribution table? Now let us see how do we construct a frequency distribution table. So frequency table means if we have some data means let us write marks obtained or heights of the students or money having with the students, or you can write the temperature of the body of some of the people, anything you can write. So I will write the marks of the students. Let us see, 30 or 20 students are there, they have got some marks, 0, 1, 3, 4, 6, 10, 10, 10, 9, 7, 8, 9, 9, 3, 3, 2, 2, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 10, something like that. Let us see how many are the total students. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Let us make it 30. 8, 7, 6. This much data we are having of the maths marks of all the students in any class. So to create the frequency distribution table, the first thing is to write the given data in array form. I told you, array means to write the data in ascending or in descending order. It makes us easy to create the frequency distribution table. If you want direct table, that also you can create. So frequency distribution table can be created in such a way, like given data is given marks, or you can write first of all serial number. You can write marks got by the students. You can write after that tally marks. I tell you afterwards what is tally marks. And then you write frequency. Or frequency, then afterwards you can write tally mark. Let us see what is it. Serial number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever you want, you can write up to wherever it goes. Marks. Marks obtained by the students are 0 marks they have got, 1 they have got, 2 they have got, 3 they have got, 4 marks they have got, 5 also they have got, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 also the students have got the marks. Okay. Now, let us see. If students have got marks, then we will observe that how many students got how many marks. Like 0 marks is obtained by how many students? Let us see. Let us count. 0 marks is obtained by the students. We will count by the given set of numbers which I have written here. 0 is obtained by 1. Only one boy has got 0 marks. 1 marks. 1 marks has got 1, 2, 3 students have got 1 marks. So 3. 2 marks. 1, 2, 3. 3 students have got 2 marks. Now 3 marks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, 4 students have got 3 marks. Now 4 marks. 1 student has got 4 marks. 1 here. 3. Total 3 students have got 4 marks. After that 5. 1, 2. Only 2 students have got 5 marks. Now marks obtained 6. 1, 2, 3. 3 students have got 6 marks. Okay. In such a way you will write how many students have got how many marks. Like 0 is obtained by only 1 student. 1 is obtained by 3 students. 2 is obtained by 3 students. Something like that. Now this is tally mark. Let us see what is tally mark. 1 means 1, 3, 1, 2, 3 lines will be there. 3, 1, 2, 3. 4 means 1, 2, 3, 4. And let us assume 3 means 1, 2, 3. 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay. And if someone, let us assume that like 7 is obtained by more than 5 people. Let us assume that 6 people has got 7 marks. Then how do we represent this tally marks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This way. Okay. If we have to represent 8 by tally marks. 8. How do we represent 8 by tally marks? We will represent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. If you are to represent 9 by tally marks, you will represent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So this way we will create frequency distribution table, and this frequency sum should come equal to the total number of students. Like total number of students were 30, so totaling will be coming 30 here, and this also will come 30. Okay, so this is the way how to make the frequency distribution table. Yes, now we will discuss about what is class interval and class limits. Class interval and class limit. Now listen carefully. If we have any data given, if the data given you write the given data in array form. If the data is written in array form, we get the smallest number in the given data and the highest number in the given data. So class interval we obtain by writing the difference between, let us see one example. If we have frequency distribution, one more term is there, grouped frequency distribution table. Let's see first. Grouped frequency distribution. So first of all, you see what is grouped frequency distribution table. Then afterwards I will tell you what is class interval and class limit. In your books you can see given below are the marks obtained by 40 students in an examination. Here the marks of 40 students are written. I will not write all these marks. It is something like 40, 56, 24, 41, something like that we have written. After that we have 26, 15, some data is given. Okay, marks of the 40 students is given. So the frequency table for the given distribution, see, every time it is not possible to write all the things. We make a frequency table like marks, tally marks and frequency. See, before this we created was frequency distribution table, but it was a simple constructing a frequency distribution table. Now we have grouped frequency distribution table, means when you have so many datas, means long data, for that we use grouped frequency distribution table. Now the marks obtained by the students we can write from 10 to 20, from 20 to 30, from 30 marks to 40 marks, from 40 to 50, and from 50 to 60. After observing the given data, we will observe that students got the marks between 10 to 20, between 20 to 30, but in this 10 to 20, we will not involve this 20. In this 20 to 30, we will not involve 30. Like, if we count from this given observation, as you can see in my hand, one book is there, marks obtained by the students is 40, 56, 24, 41, 51, and we count between 10 to 20 how many students have got the marks. So 5 students are there who have got the marks between 10 to 20. 5 students have got the marks between 10 to 20. I told you this upper limit will not be added. You will see how many students have got between 10 to 20, means 10 will be added. If any student have got 10, you will take 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, up to 19 you will take, but 20 marks will not take in this. You will take in this the 20 marks. The student who has got 20 marks will add in this, not in this. Okay. This is called upper limit, this is called lower limit. Lower limit will be added but upper limit will not be taken. Now, so from your books only, if I write 10 students have got between 20 to 30, 6 students have got between 30 to 40, and 8 and 11 afterwards. Now you see, if 5 students have got between 10 to 20 marks, then what is tally marks? I told you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10 means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. 6 means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 1 here. 8 means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now 11 means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, 10 and 1 will be here. So this is grouped frequency distribution table. How do we represent? Okay. And in this only we can find about class interval and class limit. Now you see, in example we have given 10 to 20 is called the class interval. See, 10 to 20, 20 to 30. This is class interval which is bounded by two numbers 10 and 20. These numbers 10 and 20 are called class limits. A smaller number is called the lower limit and the larger is called the upper class limit. Okay. If I write here, smaller will be the lower class limit and this upper will be upper class limit. So in this 10 is smaller, 20 is upper, 20 is smaller, 30 is upper. Okay. Now 20 is the in 20 to 30 is the second class interval. In the same example, 20 is being lower class limit and 30 will be upper class limit. Now the last term comes is what is class mark. Let us see what is class mark. Class mark. So class mark is the class mark of a class interval is the value midway between the lower class limit and the upper class limit. So if I write class mark of a class interval, we write here class mark of a class interval, we write the formula lower class limit plus upper class limit by 2. This is the formula for class mark. If we take an example, class mark of 10 to 20, as you can see, the lower class limit is what? 10 and the upper class limit is what? 20 upon 2. So 30 upon 2, that is 15, will be the class mark for this observation. And if you want the class mark between 50 to 60, let us take class mark of 50 to 60. So 50 plus 60 by 2. 50 plus 60 by 2, that is 110 by 2, that is 55. Okay. So this way, and if I write here 55, then 55 will be lower and 60 will be upper. Okay. So this way you get the class mark of the given observation. This much is there in your this data handling chapter. After that, in our second video, we will solve some numericals. Till then, please practice this. Thank you so much. See you soon.